Hi everyone, my name is Susie and I am a fourth year maths student at the University of Warwick. I'm actually here on a maths integrated masters, so I have been here for the past 3 years, but I'm meeting a lot of master's students who obviously are coming to Warwick for the first time, and I thought I'd put together 5 quick things you can do as a master's student to get used to Warwick and get used to being at university here. So number 1 is getting to grips with the library. Every master's student I know is going to be spending a lot of time in there, whether that's because it's a great study space or because, most master's students are writing a dissertation or a project, so you need a good place to research. And obviously the library has so many books and papers and journals that it's really your first destination. There are self-guided tours available on the library website, and I can put some information down below. But as well as that, I just really recommend having a look around yourself and working out what's available, because obviously not only are there all the books, which are organised by department, so for example, I know where I need to go for the maths books now, I've worked out, what part of the library that is. But the library also has a lot of other things to offer, so there are lots of printing facilities. As I mentioned, you obviously got the study spaces and you've got the kind of more relaxed rooms which are available for social spaces. And as well, there are the academic support librarians who, if your department maybe can't help you with the more research focused side of things, then they're really good at, pointing you in the right direction for things like bibliographies, reading lists, references, anything like that. And they will be tailored to your department, so they're a really good, useful resource to have. So speaking of the library, there are a couple of events which the library puts on which are postgraduate only. The first of those is PG Tips, which is sort of a more informal, just kind of way to meet lots of other postgrad students, and that's held every Tuesday in the postgraduate hub, which is in the Junction building. On top of that as well, if you're there for maybe a more academic thing, there's the Research Refresh, which is Thursdays in the Research Exchange. Both of those events are free to attend. You've obviously got all your teas and coffee and biscuit and everything there. But it's just really nice to, know that as a postgraduate student there are resources and spaces and times out there just for you. Whether you want to count an integrated masters as being part of that postgraduate, people give different definitions. Sometimes I count, sometimes I don't. But I will be at some of those events anyway, so if you go, you can see me there. Moving on to a more social one, I'd really recommend that you look at all the societies that the Student Union has to offer. Just as someone coming to university myself for the first time in first year, it was really overwhelming to try and meet new people that weren't on my course, and societies is such an easy way to do that because you're all there with a common goal, you've got a reason to get together every week, and it's just a really good way to form friendships, and especially to try new things at university that you might not have been able to do. So Warwick does have some really unique societies. I'm obviously biased to a couple of the ones that I'm part of myself, but I'd recommend that everyone just looks through all of the list, all of the sports societies as well, if you ever wanted to try any sports, because we've got some really good facilities for that. But yeah, just a way to kind of fill your time and meet new people. Speaking of time, if you are new to the University of Warwick, given that we are in the first couple of weeks of term, I would really, really recommend taking the time to just understand where things are on campus. And obviously you just got here, so that doesn't have to be everything, but I know that I found it so much more reassuring knowing that I knew how to get from my accommodation to maths, or from maths to the library, just working out some of those routes that you're going to be doing every single week, just so you at least can do that and you can work out everything after that. This doesn't just have to be you walking around with a map. I personally just like to wander around campus anyway. It's a really nice place to have a walk because you've obviously got all of the green areas, you've got the nature reserve, and there's also just art around campus, so I make a little game of it. Sometimes I'll just go around trying to find as much art as I can. And on top of that, if just wandering around isn't your thing, there is the interactive campus map, which is so useful, but I really don't think that Warwick pushes it enough as a resource, considering it's the way that I work out how to get to any room on campus if I've never been there, so I'd recommend looking for that one. And finally, my final piece of advice, I guess, is less of a thing that you should do and a thing that you should really give yourself compassion for, and that's just remember that, obviously the goal is for you to kind of build your own community here, but that community will take time. As I said earlier, meeting new people, especially as a master's student, can feel very isolating and very intimidating, but you know, you are going to be meeting people, whether that's through your course or through societies or through who you live with, whatever. But just taking the time. I know lots of advice will kind of say, go out there, make new friends, but recognizing, I think, the very human thing of friendships taking time, and just giving yourself the ability to kind of, you're in a new environment, you're in a new space, just giving yourself a little bit of time to relax before you absolutely have to be best friends with everyone. I hope these tips have been useful. If I missed anything, please do comment them down below. And if you have any questions about what life is like as a master's student at the University of Warwick, or just in general, please do let me know. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.